Raiders of the Lost File. Another crisis now dawns within the heartland of the West, the slowly building fire of a Caesarian, Pompeian-style civil war. As I stated in my work Rise and Fall, the balkanization of the US centres around two contrived camps that are beginning to mirror Caesar and Pompey. Trump, the Republican, and the Democrats, the Caesar figure, although, depending upon one's sentiment towards Caesar and the Republic of Rome at the time, then the sides could indeed be reversed. However, what is true is that the Democrats are entirely captured, the Republicans too, and a cabal of special interests, most likely a foreign power that has established financial and personal control of the US political class, seek to turn the US into a wasteland of competing factions, a new civil war where brother kills brother. If murder, false imprisonment, and torture of dissidents to the Democrat regime were not enough to open your eyes to the corruption at the rotten heart of the federal government, then it would seem that they now have the punitive use of the secret police, the FBI Gestapo, against a former president. Obviously, the optics drawn from this are a rather dire one. Now, honestly, I am above the petty squabbling of the political aisles, and I see it for the farce it is, but the majority are swayed by this type of tribalistic vacuousness, to which they are spurred to action on ideals of romanticism and the dehumanization of the other, spurred on by the controlled MSM, naturally. However, the allegations against Trump that fall under US Code Title 18, Section 2071, covering the mishandling of White House documents, can be theoretically superseded by the constitutional parameters of presidential candidacy eligibility. Do you see what could happen here? If the Democrats manage to declare Trump, under the guise of some show trial, criminally ineligible to run in 2024, and Trump retorts with the superseding of this via constitutional precedent, then we have on our hands a potential crossing of the Rubicon event, akin to the end of the Roman Republic, which is sort of poetically ironic. This is exactly what I theorised could happen due to the populist and elitist dialectic that was being fomented by the cabal during the Trump era. Civil war seems to be what they want, or at least a long-running dialectic that fractures and thus distracts the West just a little longer, until they can fully unfurl their agenda. Concordantly, in Europe we see rising energy and living costs, to the point that they will become unaffordable, and, most probably, this will trigger some form of civil strife. Such an event, if localised in its initial outburst, and lacking the apparatus to springboard to a full-fledged rebellion, would be politically expedient to the ruling class, with some estimates seeing energy costs going to 20% of the national average income per annum, and food and house prices just as abysmally high. Then I see a strong potential for political and social instability throughout Europe and the West. Traditionally, once food prices reach 40% of the monthly income on average, then that is typically the inflection point at which a revolution will be sparked. All the while, the Western Bloc seeks a bellicose stance against the two near-peer powers that are not only maintaining lower consumer inflation, but providing most of the natural resources that are a necessity for the largely deindustrialised and common-sense barren West. As the old adage goes, whom the gods wish to destroy, they first make mad. I would implore both sides to maintain calm and see reason, and cease attempting to subvert the Republic and its traditions. We risk slipping into an imperial autocracy, or we risk slipping into a civil war in which we destroy each other, and the third hidden power, that of the cabal, then rise like a phoenix from the ashes of both of us.